And as you notice yourself hearing these words, you might begin to wonder how much of what you've always feared was simply the shadow of your own power. Because influence isn't optional. Like gravity, it pulls. Like electricity, it sparks. Like breath, it moves, whether you pay attention or not. And you already know what happens when you deny electricity. Cities stay dark. People stumble. Whole civilizations pause. But what happens when you harness it? You light the world. Imagine 5 years from now. You've mastered this art of redirecting self-manipulation into alignment. You've become the kind of person people naturally lean toward. Because when they stand in your field, their excuses don't survive. They feel bigger around you, clearer, stronger, like a tuning fork that forces every out-of-tune string to suddenly resonate. Now imagine the opposite future, the one where you never lean in, where you keep worrying about judgment. 10 years later, you look back and realise you've left your children, your friends, your lovers, your colleagues trapped in their own loops. Not because you couldn't help, but because you wouldn't. And the weight of that regret, it doesn't feel like safety. It feels like cowardice disguised as kindness. It feels like electricity unplugged, food rotting, lives dimmed. So tell me, which future do you prefer your unconscious to walk towards? Because once you claim this, rapport becomes effortless. You're no longer selling, you're aligning. Conversations become playful. You frame things in stories, and they lean in, because humans can't resist stories. Influence becomes service. They feel you want them to win. And science has already proven this. Mirror neurons light up when you act boldly. The brain, confused for a moment, opens like a door in a storm, and in that gap, new beliefs slip in. That's not trickery, that's neuroplasticity. Every time you reframe, you're literally rewiring brains. Every time you tell a story, you're encoding data into their nervous system. Every time you lead with sincerity, you're upgrading the human operating system. If you don't act, well, then you already know the script. Endless procrastination disguised as being polite. Watching people you love sabotage themselves while you keep your mouth shut. Nights staring at the ceiling, thinking, fuck, I could have changed that, but I didn't. And your unconscious knows that is the heavier burden. Not the risk of being judged, but the weight of being irrelevant. So why not make it a game? Like a magician pulling rabbits. Only instead of rabbits, you pull reframes. Instead of a wand, you've got language. Instead of an audience, you've got souls hungry to remember who the fuck they really are. And you already know, kids do this all the time. Daddy, this broccoli, it's little trees. Eat the forest with me. And suddenly, the impossible becomes delicious. If a child can reframe a vegetable into an adventure, why the hell would you hold back reframing someone's limiting beliefs into liberation? So as you notice how you've always been doing this already, you can begin to imagine how easy it becomes when you do it on purpose. And as you imagine that now, you may discover new ways of weaving it into every conversation. And as you weave it more, you'll notice people lighting up, thanking you, leaning toward you. And the more they lean toward you, the more natural it feels to step fully into this role, until one day you realise you don't try to influence anymore. You are influence. So breathe that in, because from here the path splits. dimmed futures where fear dictates, or bright futures where sincerity guides. And your unconscious, it already knows which one it chooses. Because you wouldn't be here right now if you weren't ready. And isn't it funny that what you once called manipulation was always just the sacred art of helping people win?